Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your captain and host, Julian Brown, and I can safely say no shipwide assimilations occurred yet. Joining me, as always, is the best bridge crew that even rivals the new Stargazer, the president of the Jet Reno fan club, he's not here. I'm going to read that line again because I forgot to take him out of the outline. The Boar Queen of Puns, Lieutenant Brittany, not wearing a black leather jacket, but would rock the shit out of that look, Lieutenant Hawk, and
I
looking,
will have that jacket.
Yes, you will,
Yes.
looking great in Ops Gold, just like Raffi, Commander Giraffe. Welcome, and Jolan True. How are we?
As
Great.
always, we're here to provide absolute candor to our audience.
Indeed,
Oh.
indeed we are. I like that. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
I don't know what
some
happened with the
Romulan
music
props.
in the background. People said it was being weird. That's fine. It was my first time doing it. I got the overlay, as you could see, working. So baby steps on the Julian side.
You mean
It's
the audience
looking
couldn't hear me
fabulous.
sing the opening for
Yeah,
them?
I'll have to put it in post, which is not a big deal at all. Guys, this week it's the Picard season 2 premiere. Yay! And we are so freaking excited. We weren't around yet as a podcast when Picard season 1 debuted. So to get to talk about this series week to week for the next couple months is just wonderful. It's awesome. Can't wait. We review the mind-blowing episode titled appropriately The Stargazer. And I know I'm celebrating with an actual glass labeled Chateau Picard with Chateau Picard vintage 2386 in my glass. So cheers,
water.
Sláinte,
Cheers.
salut. Giraffe's going to kill me for how I said salut. That's okay. I'm going to take a drink.
Cheers,
Santé,
big
santé.
ears.
Yes. Yeah, you don't say
Santé. There we go. I do have to say
Salut
real
means
quick.
hi.
Lexi says, cheers, big ears. One of the best lines to come out of this episode, right? Yeah, guys, real quick, we just want to say if you missed us saying it in episode 70 of the pod, where we did review Star Trek Discovery 411, Rosetta, a big thank you to all of the amazing podcasts that took place in our first ever podcast festival, Captain Picard Week. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, just because we had so many awesome shows that put on really amazing podcast episodes and talked about some really big topics, and I'm just so proud of all the podcasts that took part. It was so much fun. And then really an even bigger thank you to all of you guys who came to join us live and watch and listen to take part in some of these amazing conversations all surrounding Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So every Captain Picard Week episode is now available via our website. Actually, our Picard season 1 look back will be dropping, I think, like in an hour. That'll be the last one that drops. But everything else is on our website right now. You can check it out there. You could check it out on YouTube. It was a blast. So just good times. Before we get into our review, we have a new review of our podcast to read, which doesn't happen very often, but we do have one. And we also have to thank our patrons at the Ready Room level and above. But first, Giraffe, can you read our new review, please?
Absolutely. JT wrote, great pod and amazing community building. I always appreciate the different insights the team brings to Star Trek. I also appreciate the work they all do to build community among Star Trek fans. Thank you.
Thank you, JT. That's super kind.
One pun at a time.
One.
They meant the Star Trek
They did.
podcast festival, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd like to give our show a review, if you like what we do and you want to show us some love, it's actually really easy. You just go to strangenewpod.com. We have a review drop down, and you can actually pick where you want to review us. Super easy. Lots of options. And if you do give us a review, preferably 5 stars, that would be nice. We will read your review live on the show. So check it out, please. And now, Hawk, we need to give some thanks to our patrons at the Ready Room level and above, and they're kind of a big reason why we're able to do cool events like Captain Picard Week.
Absolutely. So thank you to all our patrons: Simon Stager, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Wee, Haven, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, SMK, Ian Davies, Amy Grace, Laura Linderman, Reasonable Stranger, Colin Davidson, and Susie. Thank you. We couldn't do this without you.
Yay!
Is it wild that
Thank you,
we've read
guys.
that so many times? At least like the first so many names that I wasn't even looking at the sheet and I was like mimicking you and I was just like,
We know the order.
you know the order. If they ever change it up.
I'm going to read a
From
quick
now.
comment here, a few comments. Everybody's just gasping and in love with the brand new Stargazer, so I want to get those right out of the way. Jay Crapsup says, I love the Stargazer. Such a cool looking ship. Galaxy Star Queen 77 says, I love this episode so much. It's been amazing. The podcast festival was amazing. Love you guys. 100 stars is my review. Thank you so much. And this is the other part I wanted to read from Haven. I wish they had kept the same NCC, the registry number for the Stargazer, and actually
Yes.
put it put the
Yeah.
A there. They didn't put an A or the registry number. That's the only nitpick, but I can get over that pretty quickly. So
I feel like if I were the Captain Stargazer, I would have the same name, but I would obviously change the spelling. It would add a Y right before, like Stargate.
got you. Lexi asks, is this just going to be several hours of us gushing over Elnor in a uniform? Right? That's going to
Yeah.
happen? Yeah, probably.
You
Right,
can't Elnor it any longer.
Yeah. Buick brings up a good point. My nitpick is that a new vessel and a refit aren't the same thing. So, okay, we'll get into that. As you can see, we took a quick break. We went through a transwarp conduit, and then Eric showed up, which is awesome because we know how much. Well, I know because we talked about it. How much you enjoyed this episode too.
I fucking
so I'm glad
hated
that you
it.
were.
I hated.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
No, that was Discovery.
Oh wait, that was Disco. My bad.
Quick
It's
question.
glad to have. Yeah, go ahead.
I
What's your
just want to
question?
make sure. Are we still recording?
Yeah, I never stopped.
Okay,
Yep.
just want to make sure.
Yep,
Oh,
no,
you never
but I
stopped
appreciate it.
recording. Good to know.
See, we have the
I have all the dirt on you.
we have the Cheeto,
Oh
the
boy.
curve.
So Eric is here, and because of that, what I
Right.
am going to do, because there were some great answers, and I'd like some people to repost their answers in Twitch. I'm going to redo the strange new loop. I'm going to basically start the pod from there. This whole part was just a lead up, so I could tell you Eric's here, and then I'm gonna do that. So here we go, guys. With that, we are going to go into our first ever Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek Picard, strange new loop. And here he is eating some food. He magically showed up via transporter, via transwarp conduit. Eric is back. He's joining us. Glad you could be here and make it for this one. Know how much you love the episode. Let's go into the strange new loop. If you could choose any starship or space station to go on your first academy training assignment, like Elnor in this episode, which one would you choose for your studies?
Am I going first?
Anybody can go first.
Oh, simple. Starbase 80.
That's
what
what
Brittany said. What we did it the first time.
Oh, God damn it.
Talk about a
That's
transwarp.
so
You
funny.
can't do it.
I love it.
I love it.
I love
It
that.
just seems like it would be so fun, right?
Yeah, right?
You're like, I exist in the Lower
Misadventures.
Decks universe. It would be
My God.
shenanigans. Shenanigans all the time.
Misadventures on Starbase 80. That's how you really cut your chops in Starfleet. You start there and then you get
Yeah.
your pips.
You work your
Yep.
way up.
Yep.
That's your internship.
Pip hard, baby. Pip hard.
I'd go
Pips out for
Voyager.
Harambe.
Voyager.
Yeah. So I
I'm
was
unhinged
saying, I'd go to be on Voyager. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
First
Yeah.
contact and like science vessel.
At least you're not
getting
Asian, so
stranded,
you
you
might
know.
get, promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, but
I mean,
like,
Tuvok was at least
racial-
lieutenant commander, so you
I
know.
was gonna say we had the
racially
Lamas, you know?
ambiguous, so I don't know.
I mean, Harry did get command of the night shift, so
Hey, that night shift's an important part of
Yeah,
the ship
you gotta clean out those holodecks somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Giraffe's gone, Eric's gone. Brittany did say Starbase 80 the first time we did the strange loop, but if you had a different answer than Starbase 80, or is that you're sticking with it? That's where
that
you
was
want to
my
be.
answer.
I like it.
It was
I
the
like it.
deep fake.
I
The
dig
deep
it.
fake 9, you know?
Ooh.
Get off
I need
my
a nap,
bridge.
guys.
Everyone needs a nap.
Hawk, how about you?
my answer would have been the Stargazer, but under Jean-Luc's first command. So
Rios would have
Yeah.
fun holograms.
Yeah, they're still on La Serena. I don't know if he brought his hollows with him.
Maybe he made
or
new
a
ones.
copy.
He has new
Maybe
trauma
they
to
hang
deal
out in
with.
his quarters while he's on the bridge. That'd be a little awkward.
Ooh.
You imagine the ensigns, like the new captain, like he has like 5 hollows that look like him and like
Little
go around the
weird.
ship.
Hey, don't
Weird.
rain on his parade, okay?
I like it. I'm going to read some awesome answers here from Twitch. Haven writes, I would ask to serve on board the USS Aventine under the best chill in Starfleet. Yeah. Captain Esri Dax, a very
I was
important
gonna say,
role
who's
in
the best trill? Who's the best trill in Starfleet?
Yeah, those
It's
are
a
fighting
Dax.
words.
I'll allow it.
It is a Dax. And Myra, USS Excelsior with Sulu in command. He seems like a great captain.
Fly
We
it
know so
apart.
little about that time period. I'm glad that you didn't write the captain who was in charge of it, who basically failed capturing Captain Kirk when he broke out of space dock, which is still an epic scene. Talix writes DS9 so I can have daily chats with Morn. Do you love how, by the way,
I love Morn.
how the Morn trend has now continued into Star Trek Discovery?
Absolutely.
I love
He's
the Morn
there
trend.
at the bar every single time they're at the bar, and I love it. I love
At
it.
the same spot, just like
Yep.
doing nothing.
Yeah.
Classic
So
love
Morn.
him.
Lexi,
Morning, noon, and night.
Ooh.
Come on, he's always there.
Yeah.
Are
If you
you
ever
fucking kidding me?
If you ever died, we'd be in mourning.
For someone who said they weren't feeling good off show, you're pretty hot tonight with the puns. So
I am hot. I'm
And
making up
you
for feeling
all
bad.
need to read the Enterprise War, please.
yeah, we're gonna read that. We're actually gonna do a bonus spot on
Somebody.
that soon.
Okay.
Come on.
Yep. Lexi writes, and this would have been my answer as well. So I will say hers, and I'll say mine. The Titan would be fun. Jazz all day. Riker would be a blast. And yeah, I mean, if you don't know me by now, I would love to serve under Will Riker. I feel like I could learn a lot from him. And you also have the benefit of having like an awesome, commander, Deanna Troi. She's highly skilled as well. Like you could learn a lot from that crew. And if it's like
I feel like you would groom beards together.
we would, it would
Yes.
be a
Next
to each
glorious
other.
and beautiful.
I feel
Next
thing.
to each other in a sonic shower, and you're just like, what product do you use?
I feel like
You
the
know?
Titan
I
would
see
be
it.
too stressful. You gotta go on the Cerritos.
Well, and that leads to Jay Crabstop's answer, who does say the Cerritos for me. So
For the lols.
good answers.
I
Good
couldn't
answers.
be on the same
all.
ship as Mariner. We'd be too.
You can't touch. It's
We just can't.
like you
Yeah,
can't
we-
say
that would
Mariner
be in the
can't.
same place at
Yeah,
the
it's
same
like
time.
two magnets. It just it doesn't work that way. Great answers from you guys. Great answers from the awesome Twitch collective. Guys, this is giving me goosebumps as I'm about to say it. This is the first time as a crew we are reviewing new Star Trek Picard, and that is very exciting. Let's do it. Episode 201, The Stargazer. Hawk, you're the Captain Picard stan. We're starting with you tonight. What do you got?
So as I wrote in the Discord, and that when I first turned the episode on, I was pretty sure I started accidentally in the middle of it or somewhere in that, because like that intro was crazy.
Called in media res.
Like you're in
That
a
was Latin.
a starship in distress, and that red alert, ensigns being thrown against bulkheads, all of them arming themselves and that, and eventually rushing towards the bridge and that, until as we see in that the emergency was very real. But
No, it's a simulation, right? It's all simulation, right?
Life is a
Annie looked
simulation.
Pretty real.
No, it
in
was
this
real. I was
fractured
joking.
Are you
timeline,
saying
who knows?
assimilation?
Hmm?
Life is assimilation? Sounds like Borg to me.
Like
Red alert! All hands to battle stations.
overall, this was such a great balanced episode. We noted like in Star Trek season 1 how some episodes seem to cut off at weird points and that, right? This
Yeah.
seemed like it just knew exactly where it wanted to start and where it wanted to finish, and like the end was the beginning and the beginning was the end, and it was
Isn't that the name of a Star Trek episode? I feel like it is.
I think so.
Yeah, or something along those
It's a
lines.
Smashing Pumpkins song.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Beginning is the end is the beginning. Fun fact, was used in one of the Batman films back in the day, but then was reused
Fun
for
fact,
the Watchmen trailer.
Fun fact time.
remember that song.
Batman and Robin. That was the Batman and
Yeah.
Robin song.
It was. The
That's
better
actually
version
one of
was
the
used
last
in
good
Watchmen.
ones. So where to begin? Picard back on Earth at the chateau and that, and like there is some stuff happening there. Him and Laris and that. Jabon is gone apparently a year and a half now, and Laris and Picard seem to be making these goo eyes at each other.
I love
I
it.
mean, who wouldn't?
I
look
hate
at
it.
look at those eyes right now. Look at
I
her.
just keep
Look at
thinking
her.
of poor Beverly.
No,
What did Beverly
Vito.
do to deserve this? A crushing blow.
You know, Part of me believes Beverly just got tired of waiting for Picard to get
Got
off
tired of
ass
his
and
bullshit. Yeah.
and just moved on. I imagine her happy, probably commanding the Pasteur right now, and being married to a boy toy.
Are you saying she's past him?
A boy toy.
Oh, she
I mean, now
deserves
he
it
kind
after
of
all
is,
Picard's
right? He's in a
bullshit.
fake body.
Is that what we call them nowadays?
Boy toys, yeah.
Boy
yeah.
toys.
Yeah. We don't
I know
use the
you-
word golem anymore. It's boy toy.
I know you love your
Boy
murder
toy.
bays.
Murder
Nice.
Bay.
Everyone loves
Murder
Murder Base. Everyone.
Everybody. Yes.
Med Bay to Murder Bay. Star Trek. has a
Keep
logo.
going, Hawk. Sorry.
Where was that? So yeah. Picard and Laris and that. I don't know. We'll see. I love it. This apparently is the final frontier of Picard and that. I mean, after all his years in Starfleet and that, this is the one area he's never, the one frontier he's never even broached and that. And he's pushing 100 right now. So we get his commencement address at Starfleet Academy to the new cadets. We find out Elnor is now in Starfleet. Raffi has been reinstated and she's a commander. This was just such a good episode. I get a little lost. I was trying to do notes for it and that, but there was just so much going on.
It's hard to want to do anything, right? Like it's such an immersive episode.
Mhm.
You just want to watch.
The flashbacks to Picard's childhood were so telling.
Mhm.
I like
The
that
whole thing-
even in his youth, he's a 1920s little boy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why?
Where's my newsboy's
What?
hat?
I know, right?
Why not?
Stop. He was like Newsies came alive.
Extra,
Little fucking
folks.
hat. When he was in the field wearing it, and then as a kid he was wearing it, I was just like, this man never changes.
Oh, governor.
Mummy, why can't we go to space?
Just look up.
But
Sorry, Hawk.
but there were such strange remembrances because they're fun at the same time. There was a lot going on there. Obviously she was a very warm person in that, but from what I got, the impression that there was a lot of trouble with his parents and that fighting.
Yeah.
And
She did get
possibly
dragged
there's-
across the floor. Like, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah, I want to know what happened there.
I
Borg.
know.
Well, yeah, but we
Yes,
also know that the
Borgs.
relationship between Jean-Luc and his father was a very strained one. So I'm curious where that's going to go.
Oh, I know. The father was traditionalist. He didn't like technology and that. I think he would be very upset with Jean-Luc right now and that because he's got that whole chateau automated right now, doing all the
Yeah.
work for him.
I was gonna say the chateau looked pretty lit, but then I was like, poor choice of words.
We're
Family, died in the
just
fire.
gonna continue day 2 of making fun of the fire.
The fire. Anything else, Hawk?
Oh boy.
I get it now with Picard. This was the impetus for him, traveling to space and that. I think as a child he wanted to do anything to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And towards, as the mother said, look up. And it's like our screaming voices will just be tiny little, sounds you can't even hear out there. Also explains probably why he didn't marry.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Touche.
He married space.
Yeah, we're gonna get into everything.
You
in that,
married
but
the Enterprise.
In a
let's
way.
talk about the Borg. The spatial anomaly showing up at first, asking for help specifically from Picard, and then asking for to be quoting Article 15 and that, and treating for joining the Federation and that. Now, it's easy to dismiss after seeing what happened on the bridge and that. It's easy to dismiss that as some sort of ploy just to get Picard there for some reason in that. But I still think there's something to that, and I hope they really explore that in the episodes coming.
Yeah.
And what is going on with the Borg?
Agreed. Yep. Good stuff. Guys, I just want to go really quick back to the Strange Loop before everybody else goes, because I missed a good amount of them. My chat wasn't loading. SMK wrote again, gotta say, love the Enterprise D. He just wrote the D because we all love the D.
I mean,
Eh.
There were
Not everybody.
Not everybody. Buick Space Wagon says, I'm still loving saying disco, no doubt, which is also a good answer. Joaquin Slowly, I'm going with the Cerritos. It would be disco, but I can't handle the stress, and therapy wouldn't be helpful for me. Culber's too pretty. So really good. And then Hawk, I just want to read this because this is kind of what you were talking about at the beginning with how that whole beginning like stinger sets the mood of the episode. When the computer said, you and who's Amy wrote this, when the computer said inertial dampeners offline, and then everybody slams into a wall, coolest stunt ever. So good stuff. The chat's lit tonight. Keep it coming, guys.
Just like the Picards.
Sorry, Brittany.
Just like the Picard.
Oh no!
What's going on?
Brittany, your thoughts on the season 2 premiere of Picard?
Listen, we all know that
Listen
this
to
episode
me.
had. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
To know. It had what I needed. We know even from Julie knows watching season 1 of Picard with me. I have only ever needed Guinan to show up in this show, and let me tell you, I got Guinan. I got 7 of 9. I got the Borg Queen. That's it. That's the Holy Trinity of the show. That's all I needed. I was like, say less. Either way, I love how the episode
Smile
opened.
less.
It was such.
Or talk less, smile more.
Smile.
Hamilton, sorry. Moving on.
It's okay. Every time I see Joaquin Slowly in the chat, I want to start singing once. Like,
There you go.
follow
I
slowly.
don't
So I'm like,
know
Joaquin
you.
Slowly. So yeah, we're all musical nerds. It's fine. There needs to be a musical Star Trek episode. Let's do it.
Agreed.
No,
Mhm.
no,
Yes.
mm-mm,
Yes.
no, mm-mm,
But it could
no,
be full
no,
TOS
mm-mm.
goofiness.
Full of
No.
bunnies.
Keep it going.
You know who will
Keep
do
it
it?
going.
Lower
No.
Decks. Lower Decks will do it. Anyway,
Yes. They
will.
Moving on.
They would.
I love the opening of this episode. It was so awesome. I do agree with Hawk that, the Borg are calling for help, whether they make it seem like it's going to be like a ploy and, Seven doesn't trust them. And we all know not to trust them, but there does seem to be something a little more there. I loved how the Borg Queen looked. She was sick as fuck. Speaking of which, I'm going to change my background in her honor. Boom.
You have it all ready to go, and I love
I have it all ready to go. Listen, ever since she was announced as being cast, Annie, my queen, I'm here for it.
We don't 100% know that is the Borg Queen we see in the previews in that suit. I'm very curious who that is. Yeah,
But Seven did say it was the queen, so
that's
I trust
true. Well,
Seven
yeah.
to.
Oh, that's a
have
very
some
good
sort of
point.
sense.
Well,
Maybe
the
it was a
Borg said
different queen.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah, but she did
It's,
say the queen is only stunning them. So
Yep.
another
Yep.
example of why stun
Agreed.
and say I'm here for your power.
Yep.
It was to
And
do
not
some
kill.
crazy
Yeah.
time travel shit.
Interesting. Yep.
Anyway, moving on. Loved seeing where all the different characters are at. I thought everything made sense. I liked seeing Soji again, like everybody. Elnor, everybody's favorite murder bay. Yeah, happy with her where he's at as well. And yeah, I liked how they
I
like
saw
show where all the characters are, brought them together in that sort of moment where they had to be before everything goes wrong, obviously, and then they're just scattered to the winds. And we're gonna see all this wild stuff. God, what else can I even say? It was an episode that, I was just drawn into. I wanted to keep watching the whole time because they didn't do it in a way that was chronological, which sometimes makes episodes more interesting. It can sometimes divide people because
Yeah.
for some people that's hard to follow and it can lose interest for them. But I thought it was really well done because it starts and ends with kind of like the attack on the bridge and everything. The only thing that annoyed me was the people firing that weren't commanded to fire. Like, that is the one thing. I'm like,
Yes.
you're Starfleet.
Yes.
Like, why? And they just kept going, and they're like, hold your fire, and they kept shooting. And I was like, are you dumb?
I get what they're doing because it's that like internal fear that probably every Starfleet officer and anybody who joins Starfleet has of the Borg because they just have the reputation of what the Borg have done. So I do understand that a tiny bit.
Yeah,
Having
but
said that,
also-
like it's like they regenerate and they have like the shield,
Yeah,
so it doesn't
they
make a
also
lot
know
of sense.
enough about
but-
the Borg that they know that when you fire a weapon at them, they automatically like upgrade to that, and then it's less effective on them. So it's like all of you firing the same weapon
Yeah.
at the same frequency or whatever. And all she was doing was calculating and shooting it exactly back at the same people. If you notice, she didn't fire on anybody that didn't fire on her.
Yeah.
So it's another one of those things where I was just like, stop firing, stop, you'll be fine, stop. But
Yeah.
for the sake of the show, I get why they had to do that. Those actors had to shoot. The characters, though, you dumbasses. I was like, stop. She's too cool. Stop shooting at her. She's glowing green and shit. That being said, when there's a giant anomaly in space that just rips open and it's like glowing green, listen.
As
You're gonna have Borg.
has been said in our Discord by Xandera and now in our chat, the giant Borg space vagina, as it is being referred to.
I mean,
And it is time.
I'm gonna
It
take a
is
moment here.
time
I'm
that
taking
we
a moment. here.
get a spaceship that looks like a vagina. Thank you.
Well, last year had the flowers, so it's some progression, right?
I was gonna say, like the anomaly that doesn't. If your vagina looks like that, please see a doctor. Not just a Starfleet doctor. They're qualified, but like, especially if it's glowing green, maybe look into that a little bit. Yeah, I loved every minute of it. I don't know. I know we'll get to like rating the
Yeah.
episodes later on. I thought it was a really great opening, and I'll say if it didn't have this strong of an opening for a season 2, like I wouldn't be as hyped. Like I am already hyped for this season, but I'm really glad it had a solid opening because
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's like they've listened to everything from last season people critiqued, and they're like, you know what? Here's a better story.
I said
And
that
we're
to
like,
Hawk
"Thank you."
when I was watching
Yeah.
it. I was like, it's like they heard our talks and they're like, let's
They
fix all of
literally,
these things.
right.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
the ships, when the ships appeared, because I know that's a lot, like, come on, that ending with all the copy and paste ships and stuff, it pissed a lot of people off. So this time around, they're like, we're going to hand draw and CG. Look at all the,
I
they're
have
all
a
different,
list.
I swear.
I have a list. We'll talk about it. I have a
You,
list.
you do have to admit, like the Star Trek community has very powerful voices in that.
They
and
do.
It's like they are hard to ignore.
That's because we will badger the shit out of them until they get it right, which
Yeah.
any good
Honey
fan
Badger
base
don't
should
give
do.
a shit.
Yeah. But that I'll say that's my thoughts for now because, you
Cool.
know, too
Yeah.
many thoughts.
I just want to say we see all your awesome Soji, Emma Frost, Hellfire Gala comments, and yeah, agreed. Awesome. Her
I
look was,
love Emma
yeah, her
Frost.
look was awesome. Yes, it
Hellfire
was
Gala,
awesome.
yes.
Yeah, Giraffe, your thoughts on 201?
So you can, like, you were here yesterday, so you remember what I said about Picard. That one good thing about Picard is that they know where to slap pointy ears on people and make them
Yeah.
bleed green.
Yeah.
And then that opening, I'm like, oh, Vulcan security officer. And then they make him bleed all over the place. And I'm like, they get me.
Cool.
they get me. They just get me. And like when the tentacle like come at him and
Yeah.
dodges,
Dodged it,
like,
right?
oh,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh yeah, you cannot dodge the Borg, right? Like, let's be
You
honest.
can, but not for very long.
Not for long. No.
And that opening scene when they all like get like slammed into the corridor, I'm gonna say it, but it really made me think of
Kelvin verse
Beyond.
vibes?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, hold on.
absolutely.
Even the first movie, when remember that person got ripped out and they hit the thing outside the ship, it was like,
Yep.
"Boom," and
Right
the
at
whole
the beginning
theater's,
of the
like,
movie.
silent, and you're like,
Yep.
oh fuck, this isn't your
Yeah.
dad's
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
this. Like finally an action scene that we never got in like the TNG era with like these uniforms, you know, and them getting like bludgeoned inside that ship was so good. I'm really sorry for them. And that small moment, it was like the little details in this action in these scenes, like when they are in the elevator and they arrive on the bridge and they
love that
know
part.
they're security officers, right? They know
Yeah.
that it's gonna be chaos on the other side.
It was like really
And-
good choreography, right? Because you could tell like the minute the doors open too, like there's a little bit of like juking and dodging. I thought that was really
No,
cool.
the door
Yeah.
opens and there's that guy who just like closes his eyes,
Mhm.
like stops breathing, and then gets in. And I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, that's
but
like,
doesn't
I'm-
one of them like immediately dodge a ball? I feel like I remember that, but I could be wrong. I thought it was
It's
a
like
really
s-
cool scene. Yeah.
little moments when like you know that you may die, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna take
and they
a
don't
deep
talk to each other, but they
breath.
make the eye
No.
contact. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that was really
and like
good.
so all this was so good. They get you in, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is happening? Then we go back, and then it was like, again, like all that French thing is such a disappointment
So bad.
because it's so fucking bad. And I'm like, it's 2022. You have fucking internet, man. Come
Yeah, just Google
on.
France, please.
Just Google France. I'm sure there are French people around you. I volunteer. Call me. I can give you my phone number.
We'll
This
see.
is
We'll see Giraffe
so
in the credits next week, right?
French consultant.
French consultant who
Terrible.
spotted Giraffe.
How is it hard? Please. First of all, like, okay, there's one thing that like triggered my curiosity is that when we see France from space, there are no Alps. What
Yeah.
happened to the Alps, man? What happened to the Alps? Like, I was like, is that France? Like, why
Is it?
is it all green?
Why is it lit
Where-
weird?
There's no more
what are the major
cities?
cities?
Yeah. It's like there's no cities, only like forests everywhere, and
For some
no
reason,
Alps.
the outside has all the lights.
Yeah.
Paris
So
is
I was
right
just
there.
like, okay. Then they like just like mix up two huge wine region, which is really painful because La Bar is in Bourgogne and not in Bordeaux,
Bordeaux.
and
Yeah,
like
Bordeaux, yeah.
and I get that they get the Chateau Picard, the real Chateau Picard that exists for real in real world is in Bordeaux.
Yep.
So they're gonna spin something like, yeah, he's from La Bar in Burgundy, but they bought the chateau in Bourgogne because in Bordeaux because it's like his name. I don't care, dude. Just like get your facts straight. France is, I mean, come on. So that was bad. Then the whole thing with the wine. So that's interesting because we, as not teenagers, but like college students, we help with the wine season, right? It's something everybody does. And the last day, the end of the season, is usually a huge celebration where everybody drinks and we party. And the owners of the castle usually party with us. They're not drinking their wine on their like little private balcony. I don't know.
He's
There were things that
100,
was just
okay?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding.
And
Doesn't
so
matter in
what?
France.
Yeah, exactly.
know.
I don't know. The things between him and Larry's, no. Like it's bad. Like they're like, oh, by the way, her husband died. So now, yeah, this piece of ass is for me.
Wait,
And
hold
it's
on.
like,
Look
no,
at those
get
eyes.
the fuck
Look
out
at
of
those
it.
eyes. He didn't
You know
die.
what?
She fucking killed him.
No,
She fucking
we
killed
need
him
to
so she could be with
stop.
Jean-Luc. She killed him.
No,
killed him.
we need to stop with women character that are here only to bang the main male character. She had a husband that was lit. It was super good. They were super cute. And then they're like, you know what? We need a nice piece of girl for Jean-Luc because how would it be? And they're like, her? And I'm like, get out of here.
No,
The first
I don't
5
know.
minutes?
I'm here for it.
Nah,
I'm here for
I'm
it.
not here for it.
I'm
at
100%
all.
here for it. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
And come on. She's too
Yep.
hot for him.
And
he's
I
a
was thinking
side
the
So
same
are
thing.
most of the women that Jean-Luc has ever been with.
That's
And
true.
because that's a thing that TV keeps perpetuating.
Also,
Yeah.
his
Keep,
wife
like, they
in real
take,
life.
like that beauty
Yes.
His wife in real life.
is they take beautiful women that are great
I was gonna say,
actress.
that's Ian
and
McKellen
they-
you're talking about, sir.
I didn't. He has both a wife and a husband. It's
Yes.
fine.
That's fine. Thank you.
I don't know. I was super disappointed. Like the first 5 minutes, this awesome character that they cut out of the first season in the middle of the season. Now they make her the love interest. Please, come on.
It's
develop a
only,
story
but it's
about the
also only
woman.
one episode. Like she was shown in the trailers doing some badass things. So I'm gonna hold my.
She was also
yeah.
upgraded to main cast, right? So
Yeah, she's main cast. Yeah, so
I hope she's main cast because she has
is.
to do something, not
Yeah.
here like to be.
Well, she's got-
saving
she's got to do
Jean-Luc
the-
because she's in love with him.
she needs to do the pretty eyes, right?
yeah. Mhm.
I'm just joshing.
Anyway, I'm gonna pass with the rest. Agnes just still suck. I really don't like her character. She's drunk. She's like, I didn't date for a year. Get out of here. Like, thank God
is
for
going on.
Raffi
Raffi.
and Seven because they're awesome. They have something to say. They're here for the reason. They're professional women. They kick ass, and they're not here to bang Jean-Luc Picard. So thank you.
Did you see Seven's gun holster? That was
Yes.
the gayest shit. That I'm so happy. It's so queer.
I like the TOS callback with the Saurian brandy.
Yes.
I really liked
Yes.
it. And Edith Piaf really like auto destruct, and they're gonna slap Edith Piaf. It was a
You like
great
how the one piece
episode.
of glass
It was
he
a
picked
great
up is a
episode. It was
They're really
a
trying.
fantastic episode. But like,
What you're gonna find out later is that they're all in a dream, and inside of another dream, which is inside of another dream.
Inception.
That's
Who
what
is
Yeah.
the dreamer?
No, you see, that's no.
Q is the.
Oh, boy.
and I want somebody write the Spock book. The many.
Yes.
Okay, can we speak about the title, the many and the one?
Yes.
Man, that's a Spock title right here. The
I
many
also
and the
think
one.
parts of that book are in the autobiography that Una wrote because I
Yeah.
feel like so. Mhm.
Well, Una means
Absolutely.
one, so you got the many and the one
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, and I really like to see Harvey from Children of Mars. Harvey.
Yep.
At the end.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's for my rant.
Nice, Eric.
Hi.
Hi.
If there's anything we can say about Picard is that they know how to do a first episode, because the first episode of the first season was really good.
Yes.
And then this
Agreed.
episode was really good, and you're just like, holy shit. The first sequence was amazing and really called back to First Contact. Yeah. All the Borg shots, like all the swooping in shots and the sort of under. Oh man, whoever the director was did a great Jonathan Frakes impersonation. God, it was such a good way to start off. Like you jumped right into action. It's a mystery at the same time. Then we get some wine in the wrong region, I guess. But I don't know. I didn't mind the little bit of love. I felt like they had a good connection in the first season too, and I'm sure that'll play into something later on whenever she shows up again. Obviously, because she's the main cast. What else? I liked seeing all the evolution of everyone. I'm sad that the holograms all got merged into one person, Emmett. You know,
We'll see.
That's true.
Right?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, good point. No, good point. No, you're right.
Yeah, because Emmett. Come on, not even an accent. I don't know. That was fine, I guess. But yeah, 7 was amazing. I like that. They all ended up on. I like that when Jurati was like, "There's a legacy with this ship," and you're sitting there like, "Oh, it's gonna be an Enterprise," and you're like, "Stargazer, fuck yes, that's amazing." And that being like the first ship with the Borg technology, like there's a lot of. I feel like they're dropping little hints that are going to be really important with this new Borg ship in the rest of the season.
Yeah,
It's all connected.
It's all connected, like a like a space vagina or something. I don't know.
Or a tapestry.
A tapestry.
Mine folds. What?
Yeah. I liked Guinan was such a good little addition, and I like that she grounds Picard, and she knows, even though he's not really Picard, what he's feeling.
We don't talk about that.
Just like Bruno. And man, Jurati didn't go to jail, which I thought was interesting. They still have that sort of weird relationship, her and Rios, and I still don't like it.
Yep.
Bullshit. Yes. Out.
I don't like
Agreed.
I love the mom and son relationship between Murder Bay and
Raffi and
Elnor.
Elnor.
Yeah, like that was nice. Like they hinted at it last season. But like especially at the end,
They committed now.
They committed, and I love it. I'm
The
sad
trailers freak me out though. I don't know if anybody saw the trailers.
Well, the trailers and in the next couple of episodes, there are small things we are allowed to say, and you obviously see that, like you know, come a little bit to fruition.
I know.
So it's really
Yeah. The 7 and Raffi thing just, I guess, dissolved. They didn't really. They sort of touched on it, but nothing really. I don't know. That was a weird relationship that they
read No Man's Land, or I should say, listen to No Man's Land. Everybody,
All
it's
I'm
really
saying
good.
is
Raffi
they
talks
held
about
hands
it.
gaily.
They do talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Raffi talks about it.
Yeah, slightly, but not really. Like it sort of got thrown away.
Yeah.
She did say that she really wants to be someone to 7 and that.
Yes.
This is a weird thing, like 7, you know, she is choosing the solo life. You know, for somebody who was, you know, at first, like, you know, a Borg member of a collective and that, and then she chose, you know, Voyager
family.
You know, she became like a part of their collective. She called them her collective and that. And now she's like, you know, she's doing everything she can to, you know, stay solitary and that. She doesn't even have a Flesh and Blood crew on her ship.
I'm gonna guess a lot of that had to do with the Romulan fallout, and probably a lot of like anti-Borg and Borg fear when, you know, the thing that happened with Bjayzl in season 1 and all that, and Icheb. Like I get it. I'd love to see her in a uniform though. I wouldn't lie. Like I'd like to see her like on a starship, which we get a little bit of, right?
I'm just glad she's not in a cat suit anymore.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
I don't think she's ever going to put on that shit.
No, I agree.
That thing again. Like Hawk said, the stuff with Picard as a kid, super interesting, especially with his mom, and then those random flashbacks that were just super cut together to give you some sort of like, it felt horror-ish, and I wonder how much that's going to deal with the Borg Queen and the story moving forward. It's definitely going to do something.
There's something there.
There's something there, and
there are new memories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
new
Yes.
stuff coming in his mind. Yeah, because they're like
Mhm.
changing the past and shit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you know,
that's how I read it.
Q's gonna be part of that whole thing, and
Oh, cute.
Oh, cute.
I loved Q. I
Oh,
love that
Q.
they had the young version of Q for like 3 seconds, and then they
Perfect
did
explanation.
they did
Yep.
an updated version of that Star Flash that they do
Yep.
for him, and I was like, oh, it's still cheesy, but it's a little bit newer
But it's
cheesy.
cute.
I didn't
Exactly.
like it for Guinan though. They shouldn't have explained.
They didn't
that
have her need-
Guinan.
they didn't
They
need-
didn't
No,
have
they didn't
to.
do that. No.
They didn't need to say
Yeah.
that at all.
And Q
But I'll
would do
take it.
something like that too. He would be
would.
like,
Absolutely, it's on
Yeah.
point for Q. On point. Yeah.
Guinan, I already talked about her. Yeah, she's
Yes.
lovely.
Yes.
Other
Amazing.
than that, I think it's a good way to get people like really hooked, especially when you see the android at the end, and because those are the androids that were on Mars, and you're just sitting there like, oh shit, where's this headed? And you see a portrait of Picard that he would never ever do in real life. Yeah, it's great.
I would
Backed by
do it.
Flame and gore and
You know who else would
carnage.
do it? Laris.
Yeah.
What?
I
Mhm.
absolutely
Yeah.
do that. I'd had the giant painted portrait of me in a Starfleet uniform.
With fire.
I have a
behind you?
commission. Yes, if there are any artists in the collective, I want a giant portrait of me.
Go over the mantle. Yeah.
Mm.
Possibilities.
I think
Oh,
that's
Anything
it for
else,
me.
Eric?
I think that's it.
Cool.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna repeat a little bit of what people said. I loved the ominous intro with the Borg Queen and all the officers who you think at first are getting just destroyed, but they're not, as we learn late in the episode. But it was so good to see, like, even though it was getting beat up like the inside of a starship. I love that. The whole thing with Picard and Laris, I'm here for it. I love them. I love her. I like where that could potentially go. Before it gets awkward, I really love the conversation and talking about like Jean-Luc's need to keep on moving. That's just always who he's been. And we know that about him, right? I thought that was great for him to be able to say out loud, and Laris kind of also be like, yeah, I know, but also I want you. I need you. I like that. I do hope as the season progresses that they happen, that becomes a thing, because I would like to see Jean-Luc have love before he goes to the great Q continuum. That would be nice. I want to know what his memories mean, because that is like what is going on. We know that his dad was never kind to him because Jean-Luc always wanted to be an explorer and didn't want to go into the wine business, which is kind of funny because he does end up going into the wine business.
I hope it's slowly revealed over the course of the season, not just like halfway through.
In one episode. Yeah, I agree. If everybody remembers, and I can't remember the name of it, the Bajoran tablet is in his study, like when Laris brings him his tea. So that's not there for no reason. Okay.
It was in the trailer too. We
Yeah,
really
yeah.
focused on that before.
Yeah. So that's gonna, I think, mean something, and maybe we'll get some profits. Maybe.
The better, like, there's no love for Cisco. Why is he nowhere?
on.
Like, talk about him.
Because Avery Brooks, but Avery
Profits
Brooks said
No. Yeah,
Profits-
but you can talk about him.
yeah, but then you talk about him enough, people are gonna be like, well, he needs to come back, and that's not
Yeah, he
gonna
needs
happen.
to
Also,
come
maybe
back.
they don't know what
Yeah.
happened to him, right? He's
Yeah.
just.
I love Cisco.
Oh yeah.
Same.
He disappeared.
It would be really great if Q was just like, oh yeah, I see that guy sometimes.
I love Elnor being in the academy, and I loved listen, if Jean-Luc's speech didn't get you a little onion ninjas coming to attack you, then I got things to say.
No,
that
but
was
I cried when Guinan appeared.
That's his boy. It's such a great moment. I love Emmett. I think he's hilarious. I love that whole thing with him and Seven on La Serena. We talked about this last night when we were doing our Picard season 1 look back. Raffi was one of my least favorite characters in season 1 the first time I had watched the show, and maybe even the second time. But since rewatching it again and reading books like Last Best Hope and now No Man's Land, and then watching this episode and as well as the next two, like, I'm really invested in this character and really like her a lot. And I loved her in this episode. And I love that she's like the mama bear to Elnor. I'm really digging that. Yeah. Spock's book. I knew Giraffe would bring it up, but I did make the note and put it in there. Listen, the whole bar aesthetic of 10 Forward is really fucking cool. They did a whole featurette on Ready Room of all the Easter eggs. Really neat. some good Star Trek liquor in there. Whoopi Goldberg is a gem. I love her, and I do think that Guinan is foreshadowing in this episode that Jean-Luc will end up with Laris in part of that conversation. I think this is a typo on my part, but I have in quotes Sally, but I think that's a typo because I don't think there was a Sally.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Bubble shields. I know that that's not a huge detail, but it is for Star Trek, where like shields have looked weird in Discovery, and like in this show they finally went back to the TNG bubble shield, and that's cool. If you look really closely when they zoom in on the Queen's helmet, there's gears moving around in it.
Yeah,
She's a transformer.
Yeah, it's really neat. And then the whole stunning not killing.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Was a really interesting. No, I loved this. I loved this episode, which, yeah, I obviously can't talk too much about the next two, but it's just like this already has just made up for last season, and that's saying a lot. And all the praise we're seeing on the internet kind of supports that. So I'm really happy. I'll save my list of ships for later, but let's deep dive this.
Like Laris #1.
As I said, it's getting nothing but praise. This premiere, people are just loving it, from a variety of different ships to seeing characters back in roles where we thought that they belonged. The twist at the end with Q and the Borg Queen, and of course then the Stargazer. I mean, it's just it's awesome. And Jean-Luc even says it's like my life has come full circle. What makes this such a special premiere for Picard?
Good action. They took our notes from last season and we're just like, you know what? We'll make it better. We'll do better. And we're like, good.
That's basically it.
Yeah. I don't mind that they left behind the android girl. She looked like she was having fun being a millennial or something. Or Gen X or Gen Z. I don't know what
Listen,
Gen
Soji
said.
gets to do what Soji wants.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man, just seeing like they just, it was like everything was firing on all cylinders. Like it's just, they did better. I don't know what else to say. Like everything is top notch from such a disappointing final season. They didn't copy and paste ships. That's all they needed. That's all they really needed.
I hope it's not the final season. Yeah.
One thing to note is that every single character in that from the first season, they were in much better places.
Oh yeah.
Career wise, emotionally, everything in that. So when we first got to see them in season 1, and that everybody was just like in bad places.
They were broken.
Mm.
They were all
broken. Yeah, bro, it's just broken pieces.
Some literally, some figuratively.
Yes.
We got to see a drunk Jurati. That was nice.
I'm liking drunk Jurati.
Drunk Jurati's better than annoying sober Jurati. So yeah, I'll take it.
I don't know. She's still annoying.
Yeah. I do want to really quickly read this comment because Magbag is back in the chat. Welcome back, Magbag. The cinematography was amazing. Very cinematic. A lot of people have said that this episode also felt like a movie, and it was 55 minutes does not make a feature length, but it still felt that way. So a great point.
Production wise, it was so close to a movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Britt.
Yeah, there's 45-minute films. We're fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Meg wrote, everyone looks older in a good way, mature wise, and solid. And it is true. Like they had a good we had a good evolution from last time. No, I mean like the whole cast. Like they felt like they're in the right spot in their lives at that point.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is never a good thing when you start a series, everything is gonna go to shit.
It's gonna go to shit.
Well, the ship did blow up at the end of the first episode.
Yeah.
No, and the costumes are gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I have a question.
This is already fucking outdated, and I'm really mad.
I have a question about the ship, the self-destruct. Why didn't Rios do it? It was his ship.
Right?
I think if flag the highest ranking officer on board has to do auto destruct, if I am not mistaken.
Picard 000 destruct 0. I was like,
Picard
that's some
gets to
code,
do
man.
It's the same code in Wrath of the Khan.
Yeah, I
saying.
know.
Yeah.
But
Plus,
Wrath
he's
of
older.
Khan,
You know
Wrath
how they
of
are. They're like
Khan.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's my password.
My password
Yes.
is
Yeah.
password now.
Yeah.
But it changed because his code in First Contact when he activates his alteration
Yes.
Picard 47 Alpha Tango. So
You and
Yeah.
who's Amy wrote, he never changed the default password.
nope.
Exactly. He's like,
Nope.
the Borg will know if I
Hey,
got my
maybe
password.
that's what Agnes means when she says it's a command with bagage. It's like, there's like the old auto
Bagage.
destruct code bagage.
Um,
Bagage.
I-
How do you say that in English?
Baggage.
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 I love it.
I
Baguette,
know.
what?
I know that there's a little bit of a split between how we feel about the possibility of the Jean-Luc Laris romance. Do we or don't we? I know I'm very much of the do we, unless you can go
Yeah,
get
I
a
ship
drink
that.
at 10-4.
I wanna say that the chat is with me and says it's bullshit. So thank you, Twitch
It's just
chat.
Like, all we get of Beverly is that one little picture in 10 Forward. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
why do Beverly
Yeah.
such a disservice?
And they cut
when you
out
have
Deanna from
Picard
the
and
middle.
bring back a bunch of people in it, right?
They literally cut out Deanna from the
yeah,
middle.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
Photoshop
See,
of the
look at the
future.
chat. Yeah, I don't like it. No.
Yeah.
I like
I-
Laris. During
Sorry.
that scene, I was like, Laris, get it, like for her. But then I was like, Jean-Luc, honey,
You idiot.
I wish
No.
Saban's death wasn't just thrown away. Like, it
I
just
agree
felt
with
like
that.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, oh, he died a year and a half ago. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, and
only a
I
year and a
thought
half ago.
because I didn't watch really well the end of season 1, I was like, did I miss that? And I went back like on the internet. It's like, how did he die? It's like, oh, it's not explained. And it's like,
It was
What?
a fire.
I wondered
There's a
the
bu-
exact same thing when I saw this.
Oh my
Oh
god.
Lord. Oh,
Hey!
So it is pretty evident, right, that this subspace rift that forms that the Stargazer goes to check out is a rift in time. So the assumption here is that the Borg that are coming through that are from another time period. They request help from Picard and Picard only. They want to join the Federation. Do they, don't they? When the Queen transports aboard the Stargazer, this is a very important note because I know, like, I think Giraffe, like in the spoiler chat when we were watching the screeners, was like, "Oh my God, she's just like killing all of them." We're like, why do they have to kill the Vulcan? It is important to note that because this is going to be a big deal, I think, later on, that she was only stunning the crew of the
No,
ship.
I was
Tell
like,
by the way the
no.
blasts were.
I was rooting for the Borg Queen. I was like, yeah, go girl, go get it, go
Kill
see.
them all.
why?
I was like, sleek, nice, I love it.
You just Borged out. You were like,
I have a theory, a giraffe-sized theory.
Ooh,
Oh.
I
have a
think
theory.
I think it is from the past or whatever. I think the Borg are, but I don't think that's the Queen that we know. I think that's Picard's mom. I think when she's getting dragged down the hallway and she disappears, I think his mother disappeared and was assimilated, and she's his mom.
Really interesting. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. That is a
okay.
Giraffe level theory.
But that's absolutely what I thought when there was like flashbacks. I was like, and then when she's like, look at the stars, like, holy shit, she got assimilated by the Borg.
Mhm.
That would also that's giving me goosebumps because that would also explain why Jean-Luc, I mean, and I know that Seven feels it too, but Jean-Luc especially still has a very strong connection to the collective. Whenever the Borg around, he feels it in his consciousness, right? Like it is, he can never shake that. So I love that, Eric. I think that's pretty fucking brilliant. We'll see.
Do you
we'll
think
see how that
Laris
goes.
thinks he's the
Giraffe size.
cutest?
Well, question.
You weren't here. What happened to me last night, man? Lacutus tried to assimilate me in the butt. I was. I know that sounds
mean-
really wrong.
That's a different kind of love, man.
No, look at him. I was getting my pins out to put a badge on, and I forgot to put one away, and this went right in my ass, and it hurt so much. I was
That's
like,
assimilation.
assimilation. God damn it! Damn you, Lacuteness.
Forgot what I was gonna say now.
That's all right. Think about it.
The mom being the Borg
Oh.
Queen, possibly. You got it. Get that thought back.
Oh yeah.
Drag
Okay, I
away.
got it. I have a question. Thank you.
It could be
It could be
bunnies.
bunnies.
So if it,
Yeah.
She'll
I
lose
said I
again.
have a
Go.
question, not a theory.
That's fair.
So-
That's fair.
When she calls, if it's the mom, why does she call him Picard and not Jean-Luc?
Okay.
Because it would give it away.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because there's only one
Well, no,
Picard left.
If she actually says Jean-Luc, then you'll be
We've
like, that's
heard
not the mom.
Annie Wershing's voice in the
Jean-Luc?
trailers, and it didn't sound
It
like
didn't
Yeah,
sound
but
Annie
this
like
was like
Wershing.
this was purposely
now.
like robotic on a
Mhm,
layer on
mhm.
top of it. So
But
like
the other
they
thing
did
is
that
like
to
maybe
hide the
it's not
voice.
maybe it's not the mom, but because he was assimilated, they have the voice of his mom and his
Yeah, they have
memory
his
of that
memory.
Yeah.
moment,
Good point.
and they just use it to
Mm.
like
Yeah.
trigger him.
I think it's like an emotional thing. It's a manipulative like little look up,
Yeah.
boom.
And then the star, the person we knew that was coming back because of all the awesome trailers and the trial never ends, Mon Capitan. Q shows up at this altered timeline, but this isn't just like normal Q shenanigans. Why has he shown up at this specific time after this specific situation, and does it tie in with the Borg? Thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it has to.
The trial never ends, like he said. I like that.
Mhm.
Like if he didn't even stop the damn golem thing. Like it had to be something, and this is like a big enough event that he's,
He's
John
concerned.
Delancey
He
has
said
said
it
in
was
interviews that
penance,
he has
too.
skin in this game. Like it's a big deal for him, and we can talk about this specific scene now because they showed it in the ready room. But like Q's tone in the next episode is very stern with Jean-Luc instead of the playfulness that we normally see. So I think that's an
And
important note
angry.
as well.
Like,
it
he's-
wasn't
very
the end,
angry.
The end of
Yeah.
this episode, even he was like,
Yeah,
"This
he's
isn't
still-
just a
Yeah.
trial. This is
Yeah.
penance," which is
Yep.
I've seen
another meaning.
I've seen none of this. I've seen none of the ready room, none of the things. But I've read the comics. And there's an interesting thing. Like when they showed the tablet at the beginning, like last year for the trailer, I was like, holy shit, there's a comic where there's Q and the tablet and time traveling. And I'm like, it's a little bit for me, rock, paper, scissors. I think they were like, if you put the Borg, the Prophet, and Q in the same room, who wins?
It's
I
like
like
having all the superpowers in one room,
The
right?
answer isn't who wins; it's Jean-Luc loses, regardless of who wins. You know?
Yeah.
But
Mm.
it's an interesting thing. So
It is.
if they get
Agreed.
dragged to the past by the Borg because they want to change something, Q has his skin in it because he doesn't want the past of Jean-Luc to be changed.
Right.
And then there's the tablet and the Prophet. And what's the name of the bad guys in the Prophet thing? That are like on
The
tablet?
paw race. The paw race.
The power race.
Yeah.
The ones that
Or
killed
superpower too. Yeah,
Damn
yes,
it.
those guys. So
Fucking
like,
stupid.
I see some like, power moves around, and I like it. I want to see.
I do too. I like it
Yeah.
too.
Maybe
And
it's
Q
like
Q
their
is definitely the one
celestial card
losing in
game,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
know, like
How about his outfit? Go ahead, Hawk.
I also think like the Borg are on the losing end of whatever's happening.
Yeah.
Whatever is being done to the timeline has like changed, what them, and it's like their end goal is also in jeopardy. So
Yeah.
And it's not the first time that we see the Borg losing. We saw that
Mhm.
in Voyager.
Mhm.
Like,
I wonder
Twice.
if this is the event that causes the Q continuum and the Borg to not be like around anymore in the new disco era.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point.
Mhm.
I took that.
Yeah.
I took that from Lexi, sort of, on the
Lexi
chat.
just wants to know where the Remans are. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. That's an important thing to know, guys. Any other thoughts on this episode before we go into our rating and I list off all of the different ship classes that we saw because they need to be listed?
no
And-
thoughts, just Annie Wershing.
Just Annie Wershing. Can't
Mhm.
wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Anything? Okay. So real quick before we rate this episode, people wanted ships. They got ships. No more cut and paste Zhang He. We have at the beginning of the episode the USS Avalon, which is an Akira class, which is the first time we see that since Star Trek First Contact.
Mhm.
We have name dropped the USS Hikaru Sulu, the USS Grisham, which
Yes.
was destroyed by the Klingons in Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. We see the brand new USS Excelsior, which Raffi and Eleanor are on. We get a Sovereign class or two. Is the Enterprise there? I'm going to say yes. A Nebula or a redone, probably a refit of the Nebula class. We have, I put the Excelsior twice because I love the Excelsior.
Damn straight.
And then, and then of course there is a Galaxy class starship that starts the list when the shockwave thing hits. So that's what I saw. There were
Apparently,
more.
There's a Sutherland class from STO.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
okay.
said there were a bunch of STO ships that they added in.
And
like 2
and
or
if
3.
you notice in the credits, STO gets a thank you, which is really really neat. STO actually. had a lot
I'm
to
reading.
do with-
I'm reading the
That's
chat.
Star
By the
Trek
way, it's not
Online,
from
for
me.
those that don't know.
Yes.
Isn't the Enterprise
Nice.
the flagship, so it would have to be there?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if the Enterprise is the flagship at this point in
That's
time or
fair.
not. Yeah, but I'd like to assume that was the Enterprise E that we see. So, let's rate this episode's out of 10 bottles of Chateau Picard. Let's do it.
Wrong region, Chateau
Knock
Picard.
it off, Giraffe. We'll go in the order from the top of the show. Hawk, your rating.
I'm giving this a full 10, and that like this fulfilled my expectations and more. And there's so much mystery to be solved in that. I think it was really well written. It was really well acted, and it was filmed so beautifully, and they didn't skimp on the production. And I just want more and more and more. So 10.
Nice. Brittany.
Even though they chateau us an explanation for the failures of French culture, I also give it a 10 out of 10 because it was a fantastic first episode. And it makes me so hyped for this season. And listen, I just needed to see Guinan again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Giraffe.
I'm gonna say 8 out of 10. Gorgeous episode, very good premiere. Lot of action. A little thing didn't make sense, something I didn't like, but very well done. I want to see more Romulans. Bring it on. And but compared to Disco premiere, I'm gonna give them an 8.
I like that she says little thing I didn't like rants for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, like full straight up 10 minutes. Oh,
It's good. I like it. People say I rant after.
You did, and you
Come
texted
on.
me like that was a great finale. I mean, finale,
Yes.
Jesus, premiere. Eric.
100% a 10. It made up for those god awful last 2 episodes that you guys made me rewatch. And
I didn't make you do
that's fair.
anything.
I made myself rewatch.
There it is.
And it like the whole cast, like where they're at and where they're going. This episode perfectly sets the tone for what we're gonna see in the next 2 episodes, and I love that.
Nice. I'm gonna read.
Spoiler.
Yes. The next 2. One quick comment. There was also a Gagarin class from STO. Awesome. Buick Space Wagon. Thank you for that. Ratings. Haven Studios rates 1701 bottles of Chateau Picard.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's a lot of
Lexi.
bottles.
Oh, it is. I'll say it 10 out of 10. Thought it was kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Talix, I'm assuming this is much higher than a 10 because it is 47 out of 10. Joaquin Slowly, 10 out of 10. Adorable Romulans in Starfleet Academy. Oh, I love that. Buick, it's a 9 because Explorers from DS9 is the only 10.
Yes.
No Jet
There.
Reno 9. No.
There you go. No, Reno, 9.
Can't be everywhere at once, Eric.
She can't.
Yes,
It's
she
true.
can.
And she's,
It's
and
Jet
she's
Reno.
currently
She can.
she's currently kidnapped, so that's also
That's
an
fair.
issue.
Okay.
So,
Well,
oh,
at
sorry,
that time
spoiler,
she's-
Brittany, my
she-
bad. Sorry.
How dare you?
I'm so
Spoiled
sorry.
episode.
Oh,
I physically could not have
man.
watched it.
Oh,
Spoiler: Jet Reno gets kidnapped.
okay,
My
the-
bad.
It happens.
It does. Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10. I was so stoked when I first watched this. I was at the edge of my seat. I may have had to go to my bunk when I saw both the Excelsior and the Sovereign. Just holy crap, what an episode. Just a long shot you get with the TNG theme of the Stargazer. Like that was enough for me, man.
So
Yeah.
wait,
He
I'm
took a
the
long
only
shot in his
one.
bunk.
You're the only one who didn't
The-
give it a 10. Yeah. That's
That's
okay.
okay.
you had issues.
Listen,
They were
even if
valid.
I gave it a 10
They
out
were
of 10,
valid.
And
I don't
they're
refer to it as like the best episode of Star Trek ever. Like for
it is
me,
one of the
it's
best
just a
season
really good-
premieres of Star Trek. Though.
Yeah. Remember my rating
I
for
mean-
Discovery yesterday?
Yeah, so you don't have anything to be worried about. Eric was not kind yesterday in a good way.
But it was not a great
honesty.
episode. So that's
No, it wasn't.
like-
I like the honesty. Guys, it is time for the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
And we asked the Twitter, or I keep saying Twitterverse,
The
but really it's
Twitterverse.
Trek Twitter. We asked Trek Twitter what they thought of the Picard season 2 premiere, and this is what they had to say. Brittany, did you like my poll names this week.
Yes. If you notice, if I don't comment or make better ones, it's because I like them. So you've
appreciate
upgraded.
I've assimilated into
Yes,
the.
you've assimilated
yes.
into the pundum. Do you want me to read them?
Bundle.
Yes, I do, because that's your
Okay.
jam. Yes, please.
That's fine. So we asked you at Trek Twitter what you thought of the Picard Season 2 premiere, and this is what you had to say. 72% said, a real stargazer. 7% said, decent harvest. 7% also said, might need more hooch. And 14% said, ugh, just assimilate me already.
You 14.
There was a point. And I
You
think
will
this is the-
become
It's
one.
all the French.
Yeah, there was a point. Haven messaged me early in the poll. The first 8 votes were all for the top. I think that's the first time that's happened,
Nice.
which is a pretty cool thing. Let's get into the mailbag, and we'll just go from the top of the show. Hawk, take Haven's for me, please.
Absolutely. Today had some of the best Trek I have seen in a very long time. I am 100% certain that if this was the opening of Picard season 1, people would have a dramatically different opinion on Picard. And I say that as a person who thinks that Picard season 1 is absolutely amazing. There wasn't a moment in this episode where I think I blinked. It reminded me of watching Avengers Endgame, where I don't want to miss a thing. I'm going to finish this mailbag with my rating, which is this episode is rated 1701 out of 10. It blew me out of the water. Who knows? Maybe I was blown so far that I am on the planet with Captain Burnham looking for the 10C.
I don't want to
Nice.
close my eyes.
I want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to
And
miss
I'm
a
looking for
thing.
the
Are we all going to go watch Armageddon after this one?
What,
Nope.
what just happened? What was this? What was
That was
going on?
Aerosmith, is
called
what that
Aerosmith,
was. It's
Giraffe.
called Aerosmith. Brittany, can you take Colin's mailbag, please?
That was such a weird North American thing we just did.
I just stop moving and I stop breathing when you do that, and I wait for it to be over, and then I try to compute, and then I ask Google what just happened.
I love that we didn't even discuss it. We just all started singing. Oh, God. Colin D. wrote, enjoyed this episode very much. The establishing where everybody is and what they're doing now. I was afraid it was going to be overly expositional, but I was pleasantly surprised. It seemed to flow well. It was good to see them all. I felt uncomfortable with Laris's overtures toward Picard.
Oh.
Bam, Sam. Their relationship has never been that. She works for him.
Works with him.
Yes, with.
4.
When?
Is she technically in his employ?
Probably not, because there's no money in the 24th century. 25th century, so no.
Get
Dude,
out
Giraffe
of
and I are both
here.
like,
It's true.
I think she's just working with him because didn't he help her out?
He rescued them during the
They were
Romulan refugee
refugees.
crisis. Yes. Keep
So
going.
he rescued them,
Yes.
then her husband dies, and now he's trying to nail her.
He's
Great.
not trying to. She's
No,
trying
he's-
to.
Oh,
He tried to nail him. What are you talking
Yes.
about? Go ahead. Keep going, please.
anyway, we're not here for the juicy details.
Not yet.
I mean, I'm not yet. Soon.
Time with Guinan is always well spent. I was surprised, however, that no mention of his synthetic status was brought up between them. It was.
Was it?
It was
Not
because
by
she said
Guinan.
that
I think,
you're
yeah, you're
over
right.
100. It was a whole thing. Like, it was part of the discussion where when she talked about her aging, because, like, you humans and your mortality, she's like, but then again, I'm hundreds of years old and you're over 100.
Yeah.
And, like, she knows. She looked at that shiny bald ass and was like, that's not human anymore, you know? I didn't mean his bald ass. That sounded really weird now I think about it. You know what I mean?
Toit.
Yeah. They didn't say the word synthetic. Maybe they should have. Don't say toit. Don't say toit with that man.
Like a toiga.
Like a tiger.
I was curious.
Scene.
Curious how the change in timeline would be accomplished. I never dreamed the Borg Queen would facilitate that or assimilate that. And Q. I'm not fond of him like so many others are, but he is giving us this season's theme. So be it. Overall, I love this series, and this episode did not disappoint. 9 out of 10.
Very nice.
I
Love
like
it.
the Borg. 9 of
Indeed.
10.
9 of 10. Yep. Giraffe, can you take Yum Yum Pods, please?
Yum Yum Pod wrote, overall, this was a fine entry and also sets the stage for the season well enough. It is always amusing to note down how a season that follows a critically divisive one will proceed and how it chooses to improve and or distance itself from the previous one. That was one sentence, man. That was difficult to read.
You did it really well.
You did really well, and that's a great
That
point
was a
that
good
Yum Yum
sentence.
Pod makes.
I felt like
Yeah.
I was listening to an audiobook at night.
Thank you.
Next chapter.
My
Giraffe.
next,
Teach
it's
me
my next
physics.
hustle.
Ready for the exam now.
Yeah, you got my private number. Honestly,
So
just
weird.
honestly, just the idea of the Borg wanting peace is enough of a hook for a season without bringing in Q and time travel. But that may just be us wanting to keep things simple, because let's not forget how unnecessarily complicated last season got. True.
Mm-hmm.
The presentation of the nefarious old foe.
Yep.
Foe wanting
You got
peace, but it's secretly being it's secretly being a ruse of some sort is a classic. But this really reminded us of the Doctor Who episode The Witch's Familiar, in which the creator of the Daleks tries to play the Doctor the same way as the Borg do with Picard and the Federation.
It's a really good episode of
Mm.
Doctor
Oh
Who.
yeah.
Can we appreciate
Yeah.
the fact that you said nefarious and then
did.
immediately
Yep.
foe tripped you up? Nefarious. It was like multiple syllables.
Dr.
and you were like,
Nefarious?
oh, this word's too
I
easy.
don't know.
I love Dr. Nefarious.
Yes. Eric, take us home with. Oh, no, sorry.
no,
there's
there's
two
one more
more. There's
after,
one
yeah.
for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buick,
Buick.
please.
Buick wrote, supervising producer Mark Bernardin has quietly been one of the smartest and most dedicated nerds of color in the world for many years. It's very true. He is a lifelong Trek fan who once won an internship on the Paramount lot with the TNG spec script. Not only was hiring him a statement about what this season would be, making him a supervising producer is giving him a position and the credit that's right for a tenured TV writer and premier Trekkie. Couldn't be happier for him. He is amazing. If you've not heard any of his podcasts,
Agreed.
I'll have to check them out.
yeah, he's
But-
with
Nice.
Kevin Smith on Fat Man on Batman.
Oh, nice.
Nice. This also makes me want to mention the fact that like this season has so much to deal with like time travel and stuff we knew going in. So when they did say that Terry Matalis was showrunning it, I was like, perfect, 12 Monkeys. This is gonna
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah. And then finally, Lexi wrote, absolutely loved Picard. Great to have it back. Fantastically interesting dilemma of the Borg asking to join the Federation. How have I never considered it before? So much potential for political and personal drama. The cast were on fire, visually and musically beautiful, and it's a strong thematic choice to root this season in Picard's romance and loneliness. I could definitely get on board with the Picard-Laris ship, though that said, if they dance around it and don't address the Beverly issue, it's going to feel even more strange. Overall, brilliant return. I'm going to add a bit to your mailbag, but what about the Remans? We all want to know.
They blew
Yeah.
up, man. They blew
Let me
up.
tell you,
Get up.
Everybody's dead.
this is an incredible premiere, and y'all are in for a wild ride. Just for the next two. Can't wait to talk about them with you
So
guys.
good.
It's so much
good.
fun. It's gonna be so good. We will be back here next week with episode 202. Yes. Please plug your upcoming watch along.
Yeah, we're gonna do a watch along. We're gonna do a French watch along on Sunday, and with some French Trekkies who speak English too. We're gonna watch Family, so we can dig at how France is poorly represented in Trek. Brit, I hope you can be here.
I
We're
work
gonna
on
be.
Sundays, but it depends on when.
So I'll put all the information on our Twitter and on our Discord. You can join us on Twitch and on the Discord too.
Yay! That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Is Family
to-
the episode where the family dies?
Yeah.
No.
No. That's in Generations. But this is all
Bring
about
it up.
It was
the
a joke.
family.
It was a joke.
Lexi did answer. New timeline draft. Q saved the Remans and the king he is. Okay, I get it. Q being the king, saving the Remans. Okay, that's gonna do it. We'll be back with episode 202 next week, as well as Discovery 412. We will combine those two together next week. So be prepared for that. Choose which mailbag and episode that you'd like to talk about, because we only have so much time. It sounds like there is maybe some potential interest for a rewatch of the Picard premiere directly following the episode. So if you want, stick around for that. This was so much fun. Can't wait for next week. For Giraffe, for Brittany, for Hawk, for Eric, I am Julian. Live long and prosper. Jolan True. Good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.